хату интеллигенция. Продолжаем страдать на иностранском в Dragonfall. Continue. Call of Duty Truck Tourists, так сказать. Намного тяжелее идет, конечно, чем первая часть. Во-первых, язык заплетается вдвое сильнее, во-вторых, башка напрягается в попытках перевести. Но я эту игру, черт подери, пройду. Рано или поздно. Так, что тут еще можно было нажать по опциям? Station, да. Inbox. А здесь Юбан, поднять бабла и встретиться с Бекенбауэром. Окей, значит, здесь, по идее, уже ничего не нажмем. В конце прошлой серии взял одну работу, плюс мне сообщили, что можно будет встретиться с молодым человеком по поводу еще одной работы. Там неизвестно, что по деньгам. Первая пока на 15 тысяч. Значит, с вот этим штрихом встретиться, да, с Бекенбауэром. At the sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you. He wears a severe expression, but there is kindness in his eyes. Guten Tag, brother orc. Is there something I can do for you? Блин, вот это, кстати, круто, что в некоторых диалогах они заготовили какие-то уникальные фразочки, которые зависят от того, каким тем самым персонажем ты играешь, какой расой. В первой части я играл эльфом, там тоже было с эльфами что-то связано. И даже каким классом. То есть, например, опция про Деккера была, когда я освобождал Деккера в отеле, тоже там было это. Так, I heard that you wanted to talk about a job. Yes, I do. Thank you for coming so promptly. Tell me, what do you know about the Humanis Poly Club? Not a lot. I don't pay much attention to politics. Humanis may call itself a poly club, but its goals are anything but political. The organization's true objective is to spread fear and hatred of the meta-human races. Humanis' bloody rhetoric helped to instigate the Night of Rage. Night of Rage? Впервые слышу. A worldwide race riot that took place in February of 2039. Thousands of innocent metahumans were attacked, beaten and killed. Women and children were corralled into warehouses for protection and then burned alive when the structures were put to the torch. This is what Humanis stands for. This is the agenda that its leaders strive to advance. They will not be satisfied until all metahumans everywhere are driven from the face of the earth. Я так понимаю, людишки, да? Tell me what this has to do with me. He nods. Yesterday, I overheard one of my assistants talking on his comm. He was yelling, clearly agitated. I questioned him and he confided in me. What he told me made my blood run cold. What did he tell you? His brother, Tuck, works for a smuggling operation based in Shattenest. Apparently, these smugglers have accepted a contract from Volker Stahl. Stahl is a vicious ideologue and the leader of the Berlin chapter of Humanis. The cargo that the smugglers are delivering includes a large quantity of an extremely hazardous chemical agent. Naturally, this fills me with unease. Whatever Stahl has planned, it can be good for us. I want you to infiltrate the smuggling operation that is delivering the shipment. Once you arrive at the Humanis compound, you will find out what they are planning to do with the chemical and put a stop to it. What makes you think they'll talk to me? I'm no more human than you are. Many of the smugglers are meta-humans. If you travel with them, humanities will allow you into their compound. The rest will be up to you. Okay. As long as they can get me in the front door, I can take care of the rest. He nods. Yes, good. From your reputation around the Croix Bazaar, I knew that you were the right man for the job. Как я могу обладать какой-то репутацией, если я только недавно прибыл? Я свалил нахрен с другого города и всего лишь один раз сходил на дело, где нам просто надрали задницу, и мы потеряли нашего лидера. Так себе репутация, если честно. Yes, good. Так. Wouldn't it be easier to just hijack the shipment? Why allow it to get to the Humanis compound at all? No, stopping the shipment would not stop Humanis. They would merely acquire another. For a pack of snarling racists, they are extremely well funded. Let's talk compensation. What does this gig pay? I have contacted sister organizations across Berlin and taken up a collection. Between us, we have raised 22,000 new yen as a payment. I trust that this will be sufficient. I'll do it. Count me in. Excellent. I'm relieved. I will make the arrangements for your meeting with the smugglers. Their leader is an elf who calls himself Maxim. Take the U-band to Shatternest, and you will find him waiting there. Best of luck to you, Cliston, and good hunting. Know that you are doing a great thing for the meta-humans of Berlin. Your efforts will not go unrecognized. Так, значит, за одну работку мне предложили 15, за вторую 22. Суммарно 37. Соответственно, мне еще нужна будет третья какая-то на 15, чтобы еще и дополнительные расходы покрыть. Что ты мне скажешь? Я же нажал поговорить. Так, I know you. Before you stands a troll, though it is strange to say he is standing at all. His great mass is barely held upright by two vintage prosthetic legs, along with a crutch under one arm. His body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite these disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. If you know Monica. Sure, I know Monica. You one of hers then? There's something you should know about Monica. Something happened to her on the run? How do you know? It was written all over your face. I had a feeling besides. Monica almost always comes around after a run to check on everybody. She's long overdue, and now here you are in her place, so she's either severely wounded or outright dead. Which is it? Dead. Now that is a shame. She was a hell of a runner, that one. And a good friend. I'm Cliston, by the way. Good to meet you, Cliston. Name's Alexi Lane. What's your place in the Croix Bazaar? No place really, just an old relic rusting away. Okay. Просто старенькая рухлядь, да? Так, теперь мне надо две разные... О, Дитрих. Здорово, Дитрих. Чё тебе? A lone figure stands in the U-band station, Dietrich. He raises a bottle at your approach, then tosses it away. Figured I'd run into you here, boss. Wanted to be sure that I caught you before you headed off. Kristen, we need to have a talk about this Humanis gig. Alright, but make it quick. Well, I've got a history with Humanis. I fought them back in 39 during the Night of Rage. Hell of a thing that was. I remember the terror, the senseless violence, the murdered children. I remember this little dwarf boy. They suffered his body in the gutter, Cliston. I can still see his face, all bruised and broken. To this day it makes my blood boil. Anyway, long story short, we beat him. Berlin's punks and anarchists all came together and we stomped the living drag out of these racist pigs. A lot of good people died that night, but we put down some of the bad ones too. Let me guess, you want to come on Humanity's run so that you can finish the job. That's part of it, sure, but it's not the whole story. I don't just want to come on this run, boss. I have to come. It's my nephew, Alexander. He signed on with Humanities, driven to it by his worthless sack of a dad, no doubt. Why would his father do that? Can't say for certain why that man does anything. I've never seen eye to eye with him, and I'm even with him not even when we were kids. My best guess is that he's treating Humanities as a boarding school. They feed and house their recruits, and that's money that he'd rather spend on himself. So he dumped his boy off on them, never mind the fact that they're racist swine. I've gotta get Alexander out of here, Creston, before it's too late. Those monsters are experts at warping your minds. It's now their disgusting ideology propagates. So I'm asking you as a personal favor to let me come along on the run. I have to get into that compound, Creston. I have to find Alexander. I have to turn him around before those animals make him do something unforgivable. Oh, of course, I wouldn't keep you from something like this. Thanks, boss. Never doubted you'd bring me, of course. You're too good man. Too good a man for that. But it's good to hear all the same. Так, where would you like to travel? Ага, то есть мы сразу собираем, там больше не надо ни с кем разговаривать. Ну, давайте в Humanities тогда сразу и пойдем. Раз уж чувачок попросился, то почему бы и нет. Значит, мы берем Дитриха, потому что он попросился. О, тут можно новых за денежки набирать. Нифига себе. Нифига себе. Я думал, только моя пачка будет. И денежек у меня практически нету. С 1500. Понятно, что тут и стоимостью, ребят, поменьше. Но тем не менее. Ладно, я буду со своими играть, с бесплатными. И Глории. Блиц, не знаю, я сам, по сути, декер. Нужно ли мне это? Skills, Cyberware. Единственное, что мне непонятно... О, у него снайперка появилась, супер. Так вот, единственное, что мне непонятно, как мне приобретать им оружие, вообще где его приобретать. Я пока ни одного торговца не встретил. Да, поехали. Подтверждаю, поехали. Поехали кукухой. False flag. The U-band rattles to a halt at the edge of Kreuzberg. You're only a few blocks away from Schattennest, the kids that Maxim and his smugglers call home. According to Samuel, they should be expecting you. Так. Так. Значит... Damage 7, range M, capacity 15. Так, ну... Ranged combat, да? И data jack. Ага, то есть мне тут... Тупо не хватает. Можно нитро, конечно, кому-то добавить. Но что делать с оружием, как приобретать, менять? Это вопрос. Карма, да? Что у меня там? 11 кармы. 11 кармы. Блин, ну попробуем качнуть и это тоже. Так, значит, интеллект или нет? Мне пока не надо интеллект. Я еще не уперся в обилки. Decking increases expertise system programs in the matrix. Давай так пойдем. Look, boss, I just wanted to thank you for bringing me along on this one. It means a lot. I'm doing this against my better judgment, Dietrich. You just remember, the run comes first. He nods. Yeah, the run comes first. No need to worry about me, boss. I've got your back no matter what. Договорились. Так, ну что. Опционалку, конечно, придется выполнить, спасти племянничка. А тут посмотрим. A matronly woman with a round face and kind eyes greets you. Her apron is caked with what looks like about a year's worth of grease. Guten Tag, what can I get you? That depends, what do you have? Well, today we have a soy-based currywurst for 5 new yen or a soup and sandwich combo for 10. Good, simple, stick to your ribs foods, perfect for a cold day like this. Что там по хп? 60. Даже если эта штука лечит, то nothing good. Good day to you then. Come back anytime. Окей. Если бы это имело какое-то практическое применение, то тогда ладно. Телефонная будочка. Что здесь? Search in the dead drop, you find a package with the telltale markings of the Stockwellenreiter. Humanis. This is an open request for information on current and past donors to the Humanis Polyclub. Identifying information such as home addresses and photographs is preferred. The presence of this hate group and its supporters will no longer be tolerated within our community. We will expose them to the harsh light of truth. The timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, Equality, Information. Shockwellenreiter. О, это же этому можно вернуть чуваку, походу, на круиз-базаре. Он просил вроде такие штуки, не? Или я ошибаюсь? Ладно, поглядим. Пока вроде все ведет туда. Там уже на месте будем разбираться. Gatekeeper, контактик, да? A rough-looking dwarf with the fire plug build holds out his hands at your approach. Hold up, Trog. I don't know where you think you are headed, but you should turn around and go back the way you came. В смысле отворот-поворот? Who are you calling Trogrunt? The troll standing behind the dwarf takes a half step forward. Stay cool, he didn't mean anything. He didn't mean nothing by it. Yeah, like he said, no offense. Round these parts, Trog is, well, I guess you'd call it a term of endearment. Sort of ironic thing. Look, we're not trying to be hard asses here. Our job is to keep the folks on that side of the wall out. If you really want to head out there, we're not gonna stop you. But consider this a friendly warning. There's a reason why we're stationed here. There are gangs out there that skin you alive as soon as look at you. Okay, well then I'll just have to skin them first. He shrugs. Alright, be my guest. Go play with the torture gangs. Something tells me you'd be a better fit out there anyway. Let them be, Сергей. Чё, тролль по имени Сергей? Серьезно? Тролль по имени Сергей. Серьезная заявочка, надо сказать. Серьезная. Шаттеннест. Я так понимаю, надо узнать, что такое шаттен. И нест, по сути, гнездо, наверное, так и переводится в данном случае. Максим. The figure at the center of the group shoots you an insolent glance. His fine elvish features match Samuel's description. This must be Maxim, your smuggler Лаяйсон. Что за слова? Что за слова? Я таких не знаю. Я там House Dog знаю. Well, if it isn't the muscle that Tuck promised us. Look who it is, everybody. The new hires have elected to grace us with their presence. Nice of you to join us. You're late, chummer. I'm here, that's all that matters. В смысле опоздал? Летел на всех парах. Вообще первое задание, на которое я пошел. У меня был выбор, между прочим. Well, you come highly recommended, so I suppose I'll overlook it. If we run into trouble, you'd be glad to have me around, I guarantee it. I certainly hope so, for your sake. Pile in, people, and be ready. There's rough country between us and the meeting site. We might run into trouble along the way. В смысле might run into trouble? А можно без траблов по дороге? Надеюсь, в этой игре не грабят караваны. 20 minutes into your trip, the van comes into a screeching halt. Maxim presses his face to the passenger window. From the mix of anger and dread on his face, you can tell that he doesn't like what he sees. Damn it! I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. Everybody, pile out of the van and get ready, Cleston. We're gonna need some muscle in a second. As you take your position outside the van, you hear a shrill voice bark out and louder. A pair of portable gun turrets begins to self-calibrate in response. Sweeping your gaze over the gangers assembled before you, you identify the owner of the voice. The leathery woman with wild hair and mirthless smile. That's что ли? She calls out again, her voice brimming with pride. Hello out there, welcome to Rambok territory. Maxim licks his lips, his eyes scanning over the gangers' hastily assembled roadblock. This keys belongs to Surfdorf Slag. Has for months. You'd better clear an out of way before they show up and force you out. Smurfdorf? Those tunnel rats? They're ancient history. Go ahead and call them if you don't believe me. Scream as loud as you want, they won't hear you. We buried them last week. Wow. Maxim's expression turns stony, but his voice remains calm. Congratulations on your victory. You must have taken some losses in the fight though. I'm betting you're not at 100%. Why don't you let us cross the bridge in peace? There's no need for any bloodshed today. You know what? You're absolutely right. We don't need to fight. You just pay us a small toll and we'll be more than happy to let you cross our bridge. I'm thinking, say, 500 new yen per van. Her voice turns cold. Otherwise, you'd better find another way to get there, to get where you're going, because this bridge is ours and nobody crosses without paying the toll. Nobody. Maybe I was wrong, maybe this does need to get violent. Get ready to ventilate these assholes, Christian. We've got a schedule to keep. Так. Давайте переговорим. Look. Хотя имеет ли смысл? Изображаем тех, кто пришел с этими и помогает. Ладно, don't worry. We've got your back. Good. Take him down, boys. Open fire. Open fire. Так, а у меня вопрос. Хрен там плавал, граната говно. Подойти надо, да? Ну теперь и не хватает. Окей. Так, на тебя. Аккураси. Ты у нас со снайперкой. Аккураси, значит, на 35. Пробивает 2 армория. Можно и пулемет вальнуть. Рано или поздно все равно придется по пулеметам стрелять. Как я понимаю. Тут жалко, что не получится по радиусу нормально вжарить. «74», да? В смысле промах? В смысле промах? Блин. Это ужасно, конечно. Хочется бросить гранату за 2 все-таки. С руки сколько ему? 61%, да? Ладно. Попробуем для начала пострелять. 0% шанс. 0%. Так, еще какие-то бомжи подошли. Фига не наваливают. Но их, по-моему, больше, чем моих. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Моих 4, а тех... 1, 2, 3... ну вроде тоже 3 или 4. Наверное, поровну. Пока хилимся, живем. Так, гранату сюда добросишь. О, ну. Во, граната топыч. Просто топыч. Лучшая из лучших. Так, кого мы тут поджечь можем? Здорово. Хорош. Снайперка 1, снайперка 2. Давай же прицельным. Рожь. Хорош. Пробовать стоило. Даб его. Так, у меня какие-то глюки с трансляцией были. Кейт, привет, кстати говоря. Не увидел. Сюда идем. Да и все, перезарядиться и готово. Четверо, да? Я уже путаюсь, где кто. Что-то заканчиваются противники, заканчиваются союзники. Что происходит, не понять. Тут вроде все свои, да? Подойдем. Так, тут что, тоже все свои. Тут... Найс. И... Своего гранаты убил? Хорош. Хорош. Блин, я не знаю, что сделали в этой игре по сравнению с первой частью. То ли всем гранаты пораздавали, то ли поменяли алгоритмы искусственного интеллекта, чтобы они начали ими активно пользоваться. Потому что гранаты прям просто по КД летают бесконечно. Давай, 44%. Ясненько. Этот не видит, да? Вот бы я криты на 23 урона выдавал. Так, чтобы половина противников сразу складывалась. 23%, это хорошо. 37. Так, нервболт. 4 урона. 4 урона, либо с ножа 7. Давайте 7. Печаль. Красиво. 30%. А ну иди сюда. Красота. 3 кармы получил. Макс выжил, этих ушлепков завалили. Все, поехали дальше. Где тут можно что-то пособирать? Честно говоря, я собираюсь... Сомневаюсь, что мы дальше поедем на наших грузовичках. Там баррикады. Maxim wipes his face with a handkerchief. The cloth comes away wet with blood-streaked sweat. Well, that was unpleasant. All a part of a job, though, yeah? You said it. I've got to admit, Cliston, this attack has made me nervous. We are running late. We are low on ammo, and there's no time to call for reinforcements. Whichever you slice it, we won't be going into this meet at our best. When we roll up on the meeting site, be ready. We may need an element of surprise if negotiations go south. Agreed. That ambush was more than a little convenient. Couldn't have said it better myself. Что, поехали или как? Поехали. The courtyard of the Humanis compound is strangely quiet. The only activity that you notice is the clatter of mechanized gates as they rumble shut behind the vents. The bulldogs roll to a stop. You step out alongside Maxime and the rest of the smugglers. There are crates here, a lot of crates, all scattered in various stages of disorganization. It looks as though your delivery is just one of many that this branch of Humanis has received. The smugglers unload the cargo from their vans with practiced efficiency. The whole operation feels polished and professional, but you can tell that Maxime is nervous. You can see it in his eyes. The smugglers finish unloading the last of the crates, then take up positions around the van. Minutes pass, nobody comes to meet you. No welcoming party, Maxime shakes his head. This isn't a good sign. Doesn't matter. They're gonna have to deal with me, whether they want to or not. What are you gonna do? Knock on the front door? What makes you think that they'll even answer? They've done a pretty good job to avoiding us so far. No, I'm going in. My business is inside. You're not hired muscle at all, are you? You're a Shadowrunner here on a job. I just want to get us paid, Maxime. Let me by and I'll make that happen. He shakes his head at you, then shrugs. Be my guest, go on inside. I won't try to stop you. When you make it back, if you make it back, we'll be out here waiting for you. Нет, чтобы пойти мне помочь. Так. There's a warning label plastered onto the side of this container. Judging by the amount of small prints on the label, whatever's being stored in here is extremely bad news. Take a closer look. Highly dangerous chemical. Okay, I understood. The main idea I understood. Не, ну помощь этого чувака мне бы, конечно, не помешала. Ай, как бесит эта штука, что нельзя сохраниться. Сейф. Такс. Больше ничего интересного нету. Confirm. Чё уж тут. False flag. The Humanis compound smells like a locker room and doesn't look much better. Calling the building rundown would be an understatement. Paint is peeling off of the cheap Duraplast walls, and the tiles on the floor are mirrored with decades worth of grime. It's an old ugly place, perfectly suited to the old ugly ideology being practiced here. You enter the compound. The information that Samurai Beckenbauer sent you here to find lies somewhere ahead. Ну, идемте искать информацию, которая где-то здесь. Куда побежали? Родные, я ж в гости. Security камеры. Красненькая. Это уже выглядит стрёмно. Открыть дверку. Так, личные шмоточки, да? Один. Неправильный код, да? И все с кодовыми замками. Обида-то какая. Обида. Визуально вроде нигде нету никаких кодов. Скорее всего, надо будет выбивать. Но раз есть много кнопок, значит их все можно открыть, правильно? Правильно. Вопрос только в способе получения этой информации. Так, что тут у нас? Тут с паролем, да? так, чисто по-тупому. Нет? Ну, попытка не пытка. Записочка. There is a handwritten note sitting on the table. Hey, Keppel, you come highly recommended. Anyone who did what you did to those elves will go far around here. You can hit the kitchen anytime, but otherwise stay close unless otherwise told. Your locker code is 2619, locker 3, Owen. Так, ну сюда, сюда. 2619, locker 3, да? 2619. Recruit Keppel. Your enthusiasm at a rally has more than commendable. Those stroke bastards really got what was coming to them. Volker wants to see you right away. His personal code is Pride. Share this with no one. Pride. Office door code. Pride. Но это Армори, это не офис. Сюда пока никак. Я человек простой, я вижу турель, я сохраняюсь. Пахнет хреново. Так, что тут у нас? Powered down. Окей. Drone Control 4. Вот это, кстати, интересно. Интересная штука, Drone Control. У меня там сколько кармы? Сколько кармы? Intelligence. Drone Control у меня 1, да? 7 очков надо. Но надо будет качнуть себе дрон-контроль, потому что с автоматом явно ходить бессмысленно. С моими руками я не попадаю. Ломиться как декеру в ближний бой тоже не хочется, несмотря на идеальные статы для ближнего боя. The Humanis Poly Club logo fills the majority of the screen on this terminal. A welcome message written in a cartoonishly aggressive font appears below. Please, log in to begin. Hack. You gain access to a list of Humanis safe houses, worth some new yen in the right hands. Неплохо, это мы продадим. Так, Humanis Forever, please log in. Hacknуть. A list of the newest batch of Humanis recruits scrolls onto the screen. Alright, here's the latest group of recruits. Some of them are already showing signs of promise. Александр Фарбер, я так понимаю, тот, которого мне надо найти, да? Санечек. Make sure that they get assigned to their bunks in alphabetical order this time. Said I kept losing track of who was who in the last batch. As always, I am changing the code for my office. The new code is Pride. You downloaded a file containing the recruits' numeric key codes along with the door code to your PDA. Так, дальше еще один терминал. Взломать. After a few minutes of sifting through account sheets, you find what you're looking for. A complete donor list for Berlin chapter of Humanis. Скачать. You downloaded the list to your PDA. There are quite a few well-known names on there, including a billionaire, philanthropist, and a children's 3D show host. Так, дальше. This file cabinet is crammed full of Humanis propaganda. Human, you work hard. You play fair, and still you can't get ahead. But have you ever wondered why? The answer is simple. The elf is using the orc and the troll as muscle against you. Так, а чё, вам мешает использовать мускулы орка и тролля? Think about it. When you turn on your video after a hard day's work, what do you see? The pampered elf basking into the lap of luxury, squandering the money that you could be using to feed your children. When you walk through a dark alley on way home from the market, what do you fear? The mongrel orc and the savage troll lying in wait to rob you of your hard-earned gains. The elf, the orc, the troll, all are parasites leeching away at your prosperity and happiness. It's time to wake up and do something about it. So what you are going to do, human? Support the Human Poly Club. Together we will show pride in what we are and defend ourselves from the jackals at our door. Human is forever. Так, маленький вопросик. А что дварфов-то обделили? Дварфы ж тоже не совсем люди. Что за дискриминация? За дварфов обидно. Так, вторую читаем. Human. They say that you can get a job because of the economy, but you know the real reason. Meta-humans. The elf, with his pretty boy looks, takes the high-paid corporate desk job, rises to the top, and blocks the top position forever, never aging, never retiring. The orc is willing to work for table scraps, driving the cost of labor down and depriving you of a decent wage. The troll takes all of the manual labor jobs. That's right. Not even the sweat of your own brow can earn you a living these days. Join Humanis and turn the tide on economic repression. Humanis forever. Так, human. Even wonder why dwarf crops are all family run, free labor, and whose businesses suffer? You guessed it, we the Humanis wind up paying in reduced sales and lost wages. Every day another dwarf run store opens, and every time that happens more dwarves flock to our neighborhoods, driving good, honest human business out. They say it is for community, they say it's for protection. But why can't they keep to their own neighborhoods, what they are hiding? Stand up for our people. Stand up for what's right. Join the Humanist Poly Club. Ну, теперь я спокоен, дварфов тоже это включили в список. Все, значит, нормально. Так, панелька. Что ты нажмешь? The Humanist Poly Club logo. Так. Pride. Pride. Еще и игру мне сохранили на шару. Вообще, какая прелесть. Что-то подобрать. Planning reports. Окей. A stocky man in a military surplus jacket enters the room. He is flanked on either side by a pair of young women. Their faces are masked by white kerchiefs, and each of them carries an unholstered pistol. Lower your weapons, girls. We have a guest. The soldiers exchange glances, then lower their sidearms. They look at you, their stares full of hatred and bile. There, that's better. His lips curl into a mirthless smile. I have shown you hospitality, orc. Now it's time for you to return the favor. So tell me, why are you here? I'm here with the smugglers. We've brought you shipments and we're wanting to be paid. Oh, don't you worry, your friends are already being taken care of. Trust me, they'll get everything that's coming to them. What, that's supposed to be scary? Because I'm not impressed. Patience, Trog. By this time tomorrow, you'll be plenty impressed, I guarantee it. Insult me again and I'll break you in two. Break you in two. He smirks. See that, girls? That's your typical Trog right there. Great big fists and a brain the size of a walnut. You calm down, Trog, or my girls will shoot you dead. It'd be tragic if you miss the big show. It is going to be glorious, Orc. That gas that you hold in for us, it's gonna prove every word that we've been saying. The Trogs, the Halfers, the goddamn Dandelion Eaters. One whiff of this stuff and they're gonna tear each other apart. And then they'll spill into the good human neighborhoods, where we'll be waiting to stop them. You just watch and wait, Mongrel. It'll be a bloodbath. The only bloodbath tonight is going to happen right here in this room. The smile fades from his face. I've heard just about enough insolence from you. I might just have my men teach you some manners. And as luck would have I. Here they come now. Ляпа набирал народу, а? Dietrich's eyes go wide. He takes a step away to the nearest humanist gunman. Alexander! Uncle Dietrich? Shoot him, Alexander. This man is an intruder and a traitor. Come here to do us harm. If you're gonna put a shell in somewhere, put it in Stahl. He's a monster, Alex. I know what you can. I know that you can see it. The humanist gunmen flanking Stahl exchange uncertain glances. One begins to raise her pistol, but hurriedly lowers it when the humanist leader steps forward. You swore an oath to us, Alexander. You will be a man and keep it. Ay. Don't let him pressure you, boy. I'm not a boy, and he's right. I did swear an oath. I owe humanis. They took me in when nobody else would, taught me to be strong. No, Alex. What these pigs are teaching you, it ain't strength. Come with me, and I'll take you under my swing, show you what real strength is. This traitor associates with mongrel filth, and if you listen to him, you will be betraying your people. I don't know what to do. Так, ну теперь надо читать внимательнее. If you side with humanis, I'm going to have to kill you. I don't want to, but I will. It's up to you, Alex, but you have to make a choice. If you can't see through humanis bullshit, you don't deserve to live. Блин, а уже как-то все три варианта хреновенькие. Как-то все три варианта хреновенькие. Но мне кажется, вот этот вариант, он может поломать отношения с Дитрихом. Потому что я прямо угрожаю, а должен был просто прийти и помочь. Типа здрасте. Позволим, типа, it's up to you, Alex. If you betray your kind to join these metal lovers, we will put you down, boy. You hear that? We will kill you. Uncle Dietrich, I wait for Alexander to act. I'm sorry. Do what you have to do, Alex. It's your choice. Do it, you stupid boy. Do it. Without a word, Alexander wheels around and points the rifle at Stahl. The humanist leader recoils in alarm. Alexander levers the weapon, and all hell breaks loose. А, все-таки он за меня, да? Все-таки повезло. Куда эта крыса побежала? Так, значит, мне надо еще каким-то чудом Александра спасти. Санечек, ну что ж ты так-то? Лечим этого джентльмена. Эта хрень на 4 дамажит. Ножами можно Это что? Так. Я понял. Я понял. Давайте по очереди к ближайшему. Так. О, 96. А ну-ка, в коленочку. Найс. Блин, ну как-то совсем грустно с уроном, если честно. Ожидалось большего. Так, и теперь кого бы тут? О, 99. На открытом пространстве. Минус. Хорош. Так, 64, 77, 71. Надо пробовать. А в какую сторону мы еще воюем? Всех же уже перебили. Чё, в чем прикол-то? Ну ладно. Давайте подключимся. Так, это берем, это берем. Все берем. Дополнительного окошка с призывом питомцев у меня нету. Это прискорбно. Давай направо пойдем. Так, с камеры под контролем. Так, хорошо, противников я увидел. Занимаем тогда какие-то позиции. С турельками пусть сами разбираются. Ничего, хилимся, живем. Армори дверь. Армори двери. Что за армори дверь? Что-то я не помню, где армори находится. Это типа куда я тут собирался убежать? Так, хорошо. Раз. Два. Три. Вроде все исследовал. Что из этого армори? Непонятно. Все. Армори. Вот она. Вот она, армори. Ну ок. Ну ок. Полетели. Значит, нам надо вытащить отсюда Александра живым. Ну и, в принципе, свалить отсюда уже. Все, что нужно, получили. Бля, что снайперка животворящая делает? Красиво. Бессмысленно. Боже, снайперка просто божественная штука. Внезапно. В смысле ты промахнулась? Там 80 сколько? 6 было процентов? Как там можно было промахнуться? Так, ладно, это лечим. Несчастного. То неловкое, когда твой грозный орк абсолютно не боевой. Абсолютно. Чё, бой не закончился? А, все, вижу. Вижу. Есть еще ребята. На всякий случай надо сохранить. А то мало ли что. Ну, тут уже, скорее всего, проблем не будет. Тут уже видно, что где. Еще их там 3 человека. И, я так понимаю, они с места не собираются двигаться. Судя по всему, не собираются. Надо всем перезарядиться, на всякий случай. Мало ли что. Я сомневаюсь, что у них будет какое-то дополнительное подкрепление, кроме этих 3. Но береженого, как говорится, рандом бережет. Четверо все-таки, да? Оу, оу, оу. А ну лечи своего племянника. Как же снайпер аннигилирует, это что-то невероятное. Просто невероятное. Интересно, можно ли их как-то заманить под пулемет? Мне бы турелька очень помогла здесь. Было бы неплохо. Ну, начали двигаться. Нет, вернулись. О. Подкрепление. Все-таки есть подкрепление. Я на это не рассчитывал. Ладно, лутаем, что там есть. Все берем, все берем. Так себе на самом деле лутец, если честно. Все равно ее не видит. Прикол. Так, хорошо. Если отсюда, тоже нет. Ладно, ждем. Пусть еще под пулемет подходят. Пока пулемет есть. Да, пулемет есть, а толку от него нету. Как далеко его можно кидать? Не очень далеко. Недоступны. Я офигею, как вообще эти углы там проверяются? Что доступно, что нет. И отсюда никто не доступен. Блин, с таким видом камеры реально непонятно. Лишили меня хода. Сволоты. Как вы достали с этими гранатами? Это кошмар какой-то. Остановитесь. Остановитесь. Так, ладно, с кулака бей уже, ладно. Здесь, о, нифига себе. 7. Нормально еще с кулака-то ударил. %88, 2 промаха. Это что вообще было? Это как? Это куда? Две этих самых, 2 ревайвалки истратил. Что вообще происходит? Игра абсолютно несправедливая. А, и этот еще. Ладно, хрен с ним. Стой, так. Как она работает? Что происходит? Непонятно. Лол. Шотган. Шотган, это хорошо. Пистол. Пистол, это хорошо. Хз, правда, что с ними делать. Но шотган можно будет выдать барышне. Эйгель. Валим отсюда. You burst through the door to the Humanis compound and into the crisp night air. You're not far from extraction point. Time to go. А этих, наверное, уже всех там положили, да? А, блин, куда это я выбежал? Что-то я не обратил внимания, что тут прям сразу враги. Ну да хрен с вами. Эти промахи, это что-то невероятное. А, те все-таки еще живы. Союзнички. Еще живы. А вот, глядишь, и помогут. Окей, на тебе в рукопашку. Еще раз. Да что ж такое? В этой игре какая-то неправильная теория вероятности. Прямо как в XCOM. Закончайте их, они еле живые. Вы чё там по ваншоту накинуть и все. Ой, немощные, а? Ой, немощные. Ладно, ГГ надо уводить куда-то. Он абсолютно бесполезен в драке. Для драки у меня другие ребята. Союзнички просто божественные, вообще не попадают. Что-то невероятное происходит. Нас просто сношают. Так бы сразу. Тут, я понимаю, другой разговор. А то. Ноль процентов это несерьезно. Где враги? Вот один враг, окей. Два врага. Наконец-то они начали попадать. Блин, уже могли давно развалить всех этих гангстеров. Но что-то как-то не смогли. Так, на один подойти и снайперку перезарядить. Ты. Так, ну что, последний. Надо разваливать. И победа. Maxim looks up at the sound of your approach. If he's surprised to see you, he doesn't show it. Crazy night, eh? I hope that this was worth the trouble. Any luck finding our money in there? They paid all right, in blood. I can live with that. Agree. Thank Christ that's over with. You okay, Alexander? Yeah, Uncle Dietrich. Yeah, I'm okay. But those guys, I knew them. One of them was my bunkmate. I killed him. Couldn't be helped. If you hadn't, he'd killed you, believe me. We're gonna take you away from here, back to the Kreuz Bazaar. Get you the help that you need. Yeah, okay, uncle, okay. Dietrich glances over his shoulder, locks eyes with you. Thanks for this, boss. My nephew is safe and I owe you. One other thing, the Dragon Slayer is happy too. We just did a ballsy thing, protected my family and gave a monster a bloody nose in the process. Glad to hear that he approves. You should be. When the Dragon Slayer is pleased, he tends to be generous with his rewards. I can feel the power coursing through me, boss. I don't know what form it'll take yet, but it's there, and soon enough I'll be able to use it. I don't mean to break this up, but we need to get moving. Kids, you're with us. The rest of you pile into the other van. You can continue having your moments when we get back to Shadowrun. Да, поехали. The U-Bahn ride home feels especially comforting today. The Berlin chapter of the Humanist Poly Club has suffered a terrible blow, and you're the one who dealt it. Volker Stahl's plan to incite a wave of bloody violence across Berlin has been derailed. It isn't often that a Shadowrunner gets to prevent an atrocity on the job. Your PDA rings and the face of your fixer, Paul Amsel, appears on screen. Kristen, I have new information to discuss about the estate. Please, come as soon as you can. Да уж подойдем. Так, Beckenbauer, что ты там? Hello again, my friend. What can I do for you? I've uncovered what Humanis is up to. You'll find the details on this datapad. This fits with Humanis' established pattern of behavior, horrific and vile. According to this datapad, Humanis compounds all over Berlin have received similar shipments. They are planning to deploy the gas tomorrow morning. I have a feeling that the Flux State will have a thing or two to say about that. Stahl has overstepped his bounds. His hubris will be his undoing. Actually, I was his undoing. Volker Stahl is no longer among the living. That is excellent news. I'm not ashamed to say that I wish the man dead. He deserved whatever you did to him. And now I'm going to see to it that the rest of his twisted organization suffers in the same way that he did. You mark my words, within the next few hours, the Humanist Poly Club is going to take a hammering that will make the Night of Rage look like a peace rally. I owe you a great deal, Kristen, we all do. I will wire your payment to the account number that Amsel provided. Pleasure doing business with you. Чудно. Так, а кому можно сдать? Я там что-то находил. Значит, можно, по идее, либо этому, либо турку. Welcome back. What can I do for you? Так, I need some tech. А что ты можешь найти? У меня на 4 программы, а я могу взять на 5 программ. Но у меня нет денег. Я нищеброд с полторашкой. Значит, медик я беру. Медик. И... Programs, consumables. Так, атакера беру. 950. Еще на пятихатку могу. По аутфитам пока Сасамба, по дронам. Самый дешманский дрон мне не по карману. Хорошо, так, теперь... Confirm. Продать пистолет. Остальное можно не продавать. Окей, у меня есть 800. 800 хватит на дешманского дрона. Смолкера. Чё с моим дроном, которого я сдал? I do. Just finished before you arrived. There's a complication though. You said it was fixed. It is fixed, but the person who built this thing fixed it in a different way. This drone's got a custom AIOS stack on it. Someone wrote code that sits on the bootloader and configures the drone to only accept commands from a specific user. This thing works like a computer virus, and there's no way I can rip it out unless I got another brain from this model of drone. Before you ask, yes, I looked into that. Problem is, this is a stolen corp drone, a discontinued model of a stolen corp drone. There are no parts for this thing on the market around here, so unless you know who locked this thing up so tightly, you're not going to get more use of it than a doorstop. Drek. Well, I'll ask around for its owner. Thanks. Я понял. Пошел я нахер с дроном. А какие дроны есть у тебя? Короче говоря, надо очень кисло поднимать дрон-контроль до 3-го уровня хотя бы, получить сильного дрона, но это 2000 денег. У меня таких денег нет. А у меня таких денег нет. Так, что там за дополнительное? Ага, точно, данные я нашел. Я нашел данные. Бюллетень, по-моему, в этой в телефонной будке, да? Возвращаем за вознаграждение. Так, доставить списочек. Карма 1, деньги 500. Маловато. Маловато. The machine accepts the data upload, and only a few moments later a certified cred stick is spat out of coin slot. Окей. Значит, тогда пообщаемся с Эмселем. И можно выдвигаться на следующую миссию. Что расскажешь, старина Пол? Welcome back. I have news for you. In your absence, I have been looking into the Herfeld Manor. Whatever Feuerschwinge is up to, it is both large-scale and well-funded. I've uncovered a money trail leading from holding companies all over the world to an offshore with fund with a dummy address. From there, all of that freshly laundered money flows directly into the Harfield estate. Okay. That isn't good. No, it isn't. But it doesn't change what we have to do. We're still going to have to find Vauclair, however large the dragon's conspiracy. But Verschwinge was different. She didn't scheme or plot, she acted. Yes, and look at where it got her. When the Firewind launched her attack on humanity, it was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she will make the same mistake twice. I will continue digging into this while you and the team tackle your next run. With luck, I will have more information to share upon your return. Sounds good, Paul. One last thing, Cliston. Malit was able to restore the readable surface of one of the Green Winter's DVDs. If you'd like to take a look, you'll find it sitting beside the player. Just one of them? She's still working on the others. Many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off of them is proven to be quite a chore. She has told me that she'll be in touch if and when she makes any headway. Thanks, Paul. Так, один DVD можно глянуть. Ну, давайте глянем. Так, second DVD получается. Alright, as I said in my last recording, I've been having trouble finding hard facts on Feuerschwinge, so I thought I'd open things up a bit. Let's see what the rumor mill has to say. The screen jumps, the Winters reappears in a different location. He is now clutching a Mago Soikov in both hands. Так, это не... Well, that was enlightening, assuming that any of it was true, that is. So, for the past 5 hours, I've been poking around some of the crazier fringe theories related to dragons and to the Sox. As a reminder, the Sox is an irradiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in 2008 after the Catenum Gal reactor meltdown. Anyway, there are all kinds of rumors floating around about this place. I've heard stories about a walled city in there that operates on a survival of the finest kill or be killed basis, sort of like nightmare inversion of Berlin. All of the anarchy, but none of the stability that the F-state provides. The radiation poisoning, cancer, and mana pollution are just the icing on the cake. So when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Feuerschwinge down, she crashed into the Sox. That much is well known. What isn't as well known as all of the modern day myths what's arising about her sins, and tonight I've heard an earful. I chatted up a girl who claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler that operates in the Sox. She told me about a dragon cult called the Disciples of the Cleaning Fire. Apparently, these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon. Could be Feuerschwinge or it could be nothing, but it's worth digging into all the same. Another thing that my little ghost rat told me, the popular rumor in the Sox is that Feuerschwinge's astral form was, I guess you'd say, mutated by all of that background radiation. Some of the glowpunks out there say that she's dead, her body like an old cot. Others say that she's trapped, doomed to languish as an intangible radioactive ghost. I don't know how much credence to give any of this. After all, I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be, but then she could also be a run-of-the-mill glowpunk, or maybe she's just yanking my chain and she's never been into the Sox at all, who knows? Well, it's food for thought anyway. I don't know whether the thought of some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon is, but it's interesting all the same. Now, the big question is, will any of these get me any closer to finding Adrian? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, but you never can tell. Track 2. The screen goes black. Okay, 54. Alright, let's continue thinking outside the box. After the Dragonfall, the great dragon Keltenstein came flying into the Sox to rescue the Firewind, but he was driven off. Some say killed by Lofer and Nebelherr. So, what if there's another dragon involved in all of this? Alright, so let's run down the list of major dragons that could be helping her. First, there's a golden worm loafer, the CEO of Cedar Group, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on Earth. Loafer's a local boy, so he'd be in a position to help Feuerschwinge. He certainly has the financial capability to help her. He could send a small army into the Sox if he wanted to. So he's definitely got the means, but I can't see how he'd have the motive. He actively prevented the Firing's rescue back in 2012, after all. Same thing is true for Nebelhair, so let's scratch the both of them off the list. We've got Aiden, the Great Sirush. He's operating out of Turkey. By all accounts, he's not a fan of Loafer. They're actively competing for territory in the Middle East, so I suppose that could be considered motive. Reviving the Firewind might cause problems for the Golden Worm. But would he risk a war with Cedar Group by straying onto Loafer territory? Again, I don't think it's likely. He turns another page. There's Saladir, out in Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in Transys Neuronet, so he's got the money. But he's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that Transys is going through out in London to get his clothes dirty in the socks. Dunkirkzan, out in the UCAS. No, this is a waste of time. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am. The Firewind is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you've got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? They don't need to work together, they have us to exploit. Okay, what's next? Clearly corrupted. Ooh. Track 4. The file is partially garbled. Vauclair, still my big brother maybe, still searching where to. I will find you. It's the last. Getting any close maybe. I swear to new research. Don't know. Okay. This file is corrupted. Nothing readable. And the last one. The screen goes black and the same digital chime that you heard on the Dragonfall DVD plays again. A crackle of static clears the air, followed by that same now familiar electronic whine. A few moments later, the display goes live. Vauclair looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged and bloodshot, and his hair is mussed. He holds a cigarette in an unsteady hand. Hermie, it's me. I can't sleep. I don't know where you are. Out having fun, no doubt. Maybe flirting with one of these unattainable beauties that you've always chasing. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant, normal life. After all, one of us should. I can still smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later and I can still taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep I can hear the sirens and the screams. There is no sound in this world as horrible as a burned victim's screams. The doctors would call this PTSD, I'm sure. They'd have me in therapy, maybe close me up in SSIRs, like they do to our veteran soldiers. Quite a story for the tabloids. The great dragon slayer Adrian Vauclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. No therapy for me, and certainly no medication. I have a reputation to live up to, however poorly deserved it and however little I wanted. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that I'm certain. One day I will find her, and then perhaps I'll be able to sleep through the night. Так, ну в целом понятно. Брательник все там не успокаивался, а... Главный брательник, который чуть не сошел с ума, пытался все выстроить теории. Мне вот интересно, реально, если тут в этом мире дофигища драконов, ну то есть это одно тело, которое может на изи сжечь город, а таких там как минимум штук 5. Чё вообще, куда вообще? Так, собрать команду на фарма-лабораторию. Там мне надо прикончить охранника, если я не ошибаюсь. Если не ошибаюсь. Берем Глори, берем Дитриха, берем Эйгера. Вообще было бы неплохо взять этого самого племянника Дитриха на задание. Просто почему бы и нет. Поехали. Loose ends. Your client has hired you to tie up loose ends at a site of botched cloak and dagger operation. One of the operatives from the failed mission has been captured by Nightyran security forces, and it's only a matter of time before he talks. Your job is simple. Kick in the door, find the operative, and put a bullet in his guts before he can spill them. Pretty simple. Так, ну чё, возьмем гранату, раз на то пошло. Глория, ты у нас тут под завязку забита. Дитрих. Дитриху можно гранат надавать. И Эйгер. Шотган. Шотган, шотган, шотган. Дэмэдж 12, дэмэдж 14. Думаю, это можно... Нельзя снять это как-то там, не? Угу. То есть есть прибитый к персонажу пушки и есть свободный слот. Понял. Понял. Да, у главного героя хотя бы можно все это дело снимать. Поехали. Карма. Карма, 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 карма. Дронов накуплю по возвращении. 2000. Надеюсь найти. Так. The reception area of the Skirin Pharma AG lab looks normal enough. The thin healer couches were obviously designed more for appearance than for comfort, and the blue steel walls are gently illuminated with energy-efficient recessed lighting. All in all, it's a perfect example of typical corporate design sensibilities, blends, generic and safe, and overtuned houseplants is the only sign that something might be amiss in the lab ahead. You ready for this, boss? According to what Herr Fuchs told us, the entire complex is gonna be crawling with higher security. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. We can handle it. Get ready, people. Правда, сам не особо верю, что мы прям можем. Так, хорошо. А, прям сходу уже добрый вечер. Стреляемся. понял. Я вас понял. А я иду спокойненько. Словно чумачечий. В смысле мист? Ай, чтоб вас, блин... Ладно. Эти гранаты — это просто лютый кенсер. Лютый кенсер. Добрый вечер. Вы кто такие? 58%. Понял, 78. Хорош. Не очень хорош. Оу. Оу. Чё так больно-то? Ну, взламываем. Так, чё, все берем, чё нет-то? Остальным можно, в принципе, занять укрытие. Надеяться на лучшее. Что это за новые интересные зоны такие? Ага. Как интересно. Мимо. Мимо. Хилимся, живем. Ну, есть шанс зацепить двоих. Если шанс есть, надо пользоваться. Красиво. Неудачно они стали на открытом месте. Но это только камеры. Это только камеры. Турелек мне здесь не дают, судя по всему. И это прискорбно. Это очень прискорбно. Значит, что дальше придется пробиваться своими силами. Четыре. Ну, не так страшно. Хилим, что можем. Хилим, что можем. Ну, идем посмотрим, что здесь. На удивление, большая часть территории без камер. Так, на всякий случай надо сохраниться. А то, знаете ли, всякое бывает. О, там какой-то мусор интересный. Так, аптечка. Аптечка — это супер. Тоже супер. Камикадзе. Все берем. Все берем. Не знаю, этот особо и влазить-то не должен во время драки. Так, сохранить на предыдущее сохранение. Недалеко ушел. Пару ходов, грубо говоря. Ну, поехали. %. Снайперка. 89. Вот так-то. даже входить не буду. Оказывается, противники тоже могут промахиваться гранатами. Вот это поворот. Вот это приятная неожиданность. Так, сколько тут шанс? Блин, не видно. 55 вроде. Белые цифры на белом фоне. Так, ну давай так. Хоть как-то попасть. Давай. Так. Теперь давай так. Ну и этого ударим ради приличия. Критом подбежал. Ох, хорошо танканул, конечно. Так, полечи главного героя. Раз уж на то пошло. Так, ну вроде как все. Чё ждем-то? The body on the table looks like a janitor. His chest and stomach appear to have been brutally torn open. Вскрыли, ребят. Так, а что дальше-то? Что дальше? Почему бой не заканчивается? Kill, find, это понятно. Так, хорошо. Я не могу зайти в эту комнату. Мне ее надо как-то открыть. А как? Summon Spirit. Нет, спиритов мы пока вызывать не будем. Вот они пришли. Ух, чуваки, как неудачно вы стали для себя. Не передать словами. Сколько вас? Угомонитесь, ребята. Кританул на 5, а кританул бы там штучек на 6-7. уже чувак и закончился. Трэш. Трэш, угар, садомия. А было бы неплохо. Было бы неплохо, если бы некто Дитрих кастанул бы заклинание. Снял бы последний урон. А, так я все равно тут пройти не могу. Ну окей, они открыли двери. Что дальше? А, здесь открылась дверь. Все, понял. Понял. Сохранить. Важный элемент геймплея. Так, разорванные тела. Это понятно. Это все и так видно. Значит, тут у нас что? Тут у нас торба, да? О, ну хоть перезарядились между заходами, и то хорошо. Угу. Между битвами не переносится. Погнали ва-банк. Нифига ты промазал, конечно. Ау, 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 ау. Она бежала. О, ну хоть турельки за меня, и то хорошо. Прячемся. Прячемся за турельками. Остальные ребята, надеюсь, разрулят этот вопрос. Снайперка. 99%. Привет. Перезарядить. Ух. Хороший крит. Просто супер крит. Просто на шару подбежал под турели. Это сильно. Это сильно. От снайпера. Что получается? Все, по красоте. Разобрались. Pile of corpses, the bodies are all dressed in high-quality ballistic armor. Это, я так понимаю, всех их тут и положили в группу нападения. Так. Lock out the night run reinforcements. А как я их должен закрыть? Терминал тут какой-то или что? Да. Но за этот ход не успеваю. Ладно, это все сделаем. Не зря декинг прокачивал. Снайперку 99%. Уф. Лечить пока некуда. Метаем ножики. Я чё повылазила? Я надеюсь, Василийский их хоть немного задержат. Да, задержат. Тем временем ищем, как здесь отключить подкрепление. Вызвать воина. И херачим. Господи, сколько их тут? По-моему, слишком дофига. Ну хорошо, хоть вроде нормально промахиваются. Так, ага, все, запорол. Запорол. Блин, а как я могу вообще тогда это сделать, если всего один ход дали? А, во, security, ага, ага. Типа завалить этих, добежать по фасту, ну такое. Сомнительно. Очень сомнительно. Врагов хотя бы становится меньше, это радует. А вот тут с этим делом пока напряженка. Тут пока врагов очень много. В тебя. Василиски вроде делают свое дело, но пока очень медленно. Нормально Василиски наваливают, нормально. Тоже можно уже, конечно, отключить, но особо смысла не имеет. А, так даже уже и не активно, типа не успел по таймингу. В принципе, пропадает опция. Да, это, кстати, идиотизм. Это, кстати, идиотизм. Точно так же, как и в первой части, когда две турели должны были выжить, чтобы ты мог нормально миссию пройти. Та же дичь и здесь. Сюда. На перезарядку. И поэтому хп не восстановить. Окей. Окей. Лол. В упор. Просто в упор. Не помогло aim accuracy. Серьезно? Не попал? Улучшенным? Кинь нож нормально. Да вы издеваетесь. Нож-то можно было кинуть. Сильно. Наконец-то и ты стал попадать. Так, а вот стоит ли рисковать и идти в рукопашку? Нет, 47% не стоит, еще убьет главного героя. Я не знаю, как тут будет дальше по ходу игры с этими самыми, с пакетами воскрешения. Лучше не рисковать лишний раз, потом пакетами воспользоваться, чем сейчас все потратить. Так, ну все. Готово. From the description that your client gave you, this must be your target, the rigger, Thorvald Enstad. You can see him waving and pounding on the plastic of his cell door. But from where you're standing, the scene is eerily silent. He looks like he's had a rough go of things. One of his eyes has been blackened, and his lower lip is split wide open. Not particularly surprising, given the temperament of his captors. The only incongruous element is his outfit. He's decked out, head to toe, in patched black riding leathers. A pair of oversized stubbed combat boots shine in the halogen glare in the cell light panels. From his style of dress, it's obvious that this dwarf is not a corporate employee. He's a Shadowrunner. This isn't some corporate goon boss. Look at him. He's one of us. There, but for the grace of God, sir, love? Something like that. Давайте узнаем, что это за фрукт. The door slides open and the stench of stale sweat assaults your nostrils. Enstad steps forward, his bloody lips curled into a smile. The soles of his boots squeak on the polished tile floor. Free at last, thank Christ. Didn't think I'd warrant a rescue. Whoever sent you, thank them for me. Afraid you're wrong about that. I was sent here to tie up loose ends, namely you. His eyes go wide. He raises his trembling hands in surrender. Whoa, there, Chief. I don't know what your client told you. He said that your team botched a run, went loud too early, and got a lot of people killed. Us? We botched the run? That's bullshit, man. We did everything like we were supposed to, like always. It was that bastard's bad intel that got us hung out to dry. Sounds familiar. Please, hear me out. I promise I'll make it worth you while if you do. Couldn't hurt to hear what he has to say. Okay, go ahead, talk. Alright, okay. So, we go in, right? Me and my team. And we are doing just that the client told us to. Well, the bastard forgot to mention that Pharma had a night rent security contract for the place. He told us that there would be little if any resistance, so imagine our surprise when a key response team kicked in the door and unloaded on us. The reason why I ran showed up because you team... Okay. According to the client, the reason why Knight Errant showed up was because your team started slaughtering the lab staff. That's bullshit. They attacked us, and then Knight Errant showed up, everything went to hell. Look, I can see that you're skeptical, I get that. Can't blame you for it either. You don't know me from Adam, but I know one thing that you will understand. I'd like to offer you a trade. I've got a little toy hidden away, managed to stash it before those Night Rand pukes took me. My own design, totally one of a kind. I call it Pain Inducer. Grade A, fun for the runner who has everything, and I guarantee that you'll never find another. You let me leave, and it's all yours. I'll put a fucking ribbon on it for you. Then I'll disappear, never bother any of you again, Scout's honor. Even if we'd consider going off mission, which we wouldn't. Did you honestly think that we'd sacrifice our professional integrity and a 15,000 new yen payday for a trinket? He nods slowly. 15, eh? I can match that. You let me leave and I'll pay your wage plus the inducer. Hell, you could even tell your client I'm dead and bill him too. Double your earnings. What do you think about it? How do you come by the 15 grand? I had a big payday a while back. Put an extra cash in my rainy day fund. Trust me, pal, I can pay you the money. You help me out and I'll transfer it to you myself. We just need to get back to the room when I stashed my PDA. Deal. Let's get you out of here. You won't regret it, friends. Promise. Aegir holds her tongue, but her body language speaks volumes. Tight lips, rigid pose, slight color in her pale cheeks. You've seen it before. She's furious. And I understand. Я понимаю, что она злая. Но тут есть шанс нахватить нормального дрона, а я начал вкачивать дронов. Ansted slows to stop at the window. His eyes are locked on the stack of corpses piled up on the cell floor. My old team. Sorry, sons of bitches. Bet they never thought I'd be the last man standing. The sooner we get out of here, the sooner we can put this behind us. You got it, pal. Я надеюсь, тут не будет дополнительной охраны на выходе. Так, это нам... Exit the building, да? Ну пошли, пошли. Главное, что игра сохранилась. Так, as you hurry past the scene of carnage in the operating theater, a peculiar smile crosses the rigger's face. He slows to a stop, then points at the dismembered body on the other side of the glass. See something funny? Oh no, nothing much. No, it's pretty horrible stuff, man. Why don't I believe you? Well, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Okay, you caught me. This was one of mine. Couldn't tell you how excited I was to see this stuff. Such incredible toys. It was way too good an opportunity to pass up. That doesn't look like a night errant employee. It looks like a lab tech to me. He nods enthusiastically. This was a fun one. Little prick couldn't believe it when I set an autosurgeon on him. He kept trying to get away, but wherever he went, one of my arms was there. Rip. And all the while he was screaming like a little girl. Must have kept it for 10-15 minutes. It was hilarious, man, I tell you. Glory gives you a significant glance. You can see the disgust in her eyes. I'll point out other stuff when we see it. There was this one guy that I locked in a room with a manipulator arm. It was fucking classic. To tell with the trinkets, letting this bastard go would be wrong, boss. You know that. Beside which he lied to us. There was no bad intel. This bastard is the reason why things went south with the run. I can feel it with my bones. The fuck is he talking about? We have a deal. If you don't wanna kill him, that's fine. Let me do it. I'll help. It's what we should have done in the first place. At that moment, the door behind you slides open. A trio of figures make their way into the room. The leader of the group is an elf with Asian features. He's obviously a vet job. The bands of the corded muscle that bulge out under his sleeves have a distinctly store-bought look to them. When he speaks, his voice comes out in a gravelly rumble. My. The intrepid Cliston with his target is toe. What a surprise. Who the hell are you? Herr Fuchs sent us to check up on you. Given his recent troubles with Shadowrunners, this should not come as a surprise. No more than your betrayal surprises me. I was never letting him go. As soon as he gave me the money he'd promised, I was going to take him out. What? If you kill him here and now, I will report to Herr Fuchs that you fulfilled your end of the contract. But you must do it now. No hesitation and no trickery. No, you can't do this. We had a deal. Kill them instead and you'll get everything I promised, please. Так, а вот тут я хочу сохраниться. Нельзя сохраниться в этом месте. Обида. Короче, план в чем? Я хочу завалить этих трех, а потом все равно его убить. Потому что если я убью сейчас, я не получу дрона. По крайней мере, я попробую. По крайней мере, я попробую. Так, мадемуазель. Что у вас тут? Отлично. Флэшбэнг сюда. Бля, какой суровый-то, а? А ну сюда. Так, тип, где деньги? All right, good choice, my friend, good choice. I'll just snip into the other room and grab your payment for you. Then we can all be on our way. Ох, он меня сейчас обманет, крыса. Сраная крыса свалит сейчас. It appears to be a control system for the autosurgeon. It looks as though with the press of a button you could put the machine into something called exploratory surgeon mode. Типа, ну, где деньги? Так. Так, стопе. Стопе. Что он добавил? Но никакого дрона, да? Никакого дрона мне не нравится. Тут все то же самое, то же самое, то же самое. Приходят ребятушки. Pain Inducer добавился. Так, хорошо. Pain Inducer feels curiously heavy in your hand. Its vicious design is underscored by the bloody scene around you. I hope that thing is worth it, boss. I've never even heard of a run getting fucked up this badly. Herr Fuchs is gonna pitch a fit. Technically, we completed the job. Our target is dead after all. That's an understatement, love. Let's just get out of here. Pick up your cyclist, and I hope it was worth our reputation. Так, а чё? В чём проблема? Типа, типы погибли по дороге сюда. Мы-то выполнили задание, сфоткали труп и как бы до свидания. Чё нет-то? Чё нет? Давайте вернемся на Кройс-базар. Your subway car is empty on the return trip to Kreuzbazar. This stretch of sprawn in U-Bahn tunnel system does not see much use, it seems, at least not at this hour. As the train rattles on, you find yourself lost in thoughts. Old memories creep unbidden to the forefront of your mind. Memories of Monica and on the old days, and the crew that you used to run with. Memories of success and failure, of wealth and poverty, of good times and bad. Halfway back to the Kreuzbazar, you are jolted out of your reverie by the buzzing around. You're Comlin. You're receiving a call. Your Comlin buzzes. Okay, you pick up and the voice fills your ear. Kristen, I trust that I'm catching you at a good time. What's up? I have made contact with another prospective client, a rather elusive woman of Atlaner descent. She calls herself Frau Müller. What's the job? She will not say, not to me at any rate. She has insisted that she will speak only with you. She wants to meet with you in a half an hour's time at a location of your choosing. How do we know that this isn't a huge waste of time? We don't, per se. But Frau Miller did tell me what she is offering for the work. 36,000 new yen. An impressive sum, Kristen, quite enough money to justify a meeting, I would think. If you don't feel that she is on the up and up, you can always refuse the job. That's a lot of money, alright, count me in. Very good, I will insist her to come to the Croix Bazaar. Where would you like to meet? Cafe Kesve. Altuk's going to find out about this anyway. Might as well have the discussion in comfort. Noted. I will set up the meet. Kristen, there is one thing. Your comlink comes to static. A moment later, the lights in the U-Bahn car flicker and wink out. You hear the screeching sound of steel on steel, and the train grinds to a halt. Что меня, по-моему, хотят гопнуть в этом метро. Looks like some squatters are living in this station. Pick up. What's that? Fuse. Inspect some trash. Tunnel collapsed. Not getting out this way. Okay. Pick up. Add an extra fuse to track. The status light next to track remains red. Remove. It looks like the console could extend the nearby bridge to cross the tracks, but with the power out... Okay. Power out. А что не так? Там же ж... Так, что мне предлагают нажать? Переключить Alt Fuse, that is in to track. Remove an extra fuse. Ни в какую. Ни в какую. Окей, экстра фьюз добавим на мостик. Экстра фьюз на БТХРМ. Нифига себе, можно силушкой двери открывать. Однако. Так, что мы там берем? Гранату. Мы взяли гранату. В подвальных помещениях метрополитена мы берем гранаты. А тут нас гопнут. Что в принципе, очень-очень ожидаемо. Что мало влетает урона? Мало. Да в смысле ты не попал? Ну как там можно было не попасть? Ну ёшки-матрёшки. Обидно, слушай, обидно. Что тут можно такого схавать? Вроде ничего. Я думаю, тут драка будет недолгой, можно обойтись без лечения. Даже несмотря на гранаты. Вроде у моих там хп слишком много. Можно брезговать. На. Так, ну PDA потом продадим. Что, тут еще есть, ребята? Вроде с этой комнаты все позабирали. Ой, я надеюсь, там под поездом не ждут. А, тут ждут, господи, в глаза долблюсь. В глаза долблюсь. Давай сюда подойдем. Ставим так смотреть. Я думаю, поезд, трое сидят. Так, что тут у нас? Нормально наваляли. Подлечимся. О. Некуда ходить. Некуда. The rest of the trip home is uneventful, but one thing is clear, someone is hunting you. This ambush was no chess game warfare, but an organized attempt on your life. If Green Winters was right, then whoever killed him is now after you. The PDA that you retrieved from your attackers may hold some answers. It's time to return to your safe house and consult Paul Amsel. Так, у нас кто-то из ребят получил повышение. Ага, все ребята получили повышение. Значит, Эйкер. Фраг гранат буст. Фраг гранат буст. Ты. Фаер элементаль. Ты. Воскрешатель. Ты СМГ. Погнали. Так, ну и, собственно, остались новые задания. Новое все. Что может Дитрих сказать? How's Alexander holding up? He's a good kid, that nephew of mine. Give him some time and he'll shake Styles programming. It might take a while, but he'll adjust to life here in Croix Bazaar. In the meantime, I found a good home for him. Samuel's agreed to take him. Is that wise? Samuel's employees have no love for humanities. Most of them don't even like humans. Best thing for the kid will be to learn through immersion. If he stays with Samuel's group, he will have no choice but interact with meta-humans. Soon enough he'll learn that they are no different than anyone else. First few days will be rough, no question, but he'll make it through and come out the other side a better man for it. Time will tell, I suppose. He nods. Yeah, that's right, it will. And when push comes to shove, he will do right thing, just like he did with Stahl. You will see. Now, on to other things. Remember that what I was telling you back before we climbed into the van. Yeah, you were saying that the Dragon Slayer was happy and you'd be given a reward. That's right. Thanks to our, let's say, mince words, heroic actions back in that swine pit, the Dragon Slayer has seen fit to grant me his favor. And now I know what that means and what I can do with it. Well, don't keep me in surprise. This. As you watch, the spot that Dietrich is pointing in begins to glow. Lines of force spread out in a scintillating web as a feeling of raw power surfaces your body. I've just torn open a channel between myself and the Dragon Slayer. That power that you feel is his power, pouncing through the ethereal ether and into that spot. If you're familiar with ley lines, it's the same basis concept. Consecrate a patch of ground, and as long as I stand at that spot, all of my magic gets stronger. Not bad, huh? Not bad at all. Pretty good, ain't it? Never heard of another shaman that could do something like this. We must really made an impression. Anyway, boss, I want to keep fiddling with this, learning to properly control it. And I'm sure that you've got things to do as well. You take care of whatever else that needs doing, and by our next run I'll be ready to use this. Sounds good, take care. You too, boss. Окей. Так, ладно, ну с Полом я, наверное, сейчас разговаривать не буду, буду потихоньку закругляться. В принципе, можно будет уже в следующий раз пройтись и по другим ребятам поспрашивать, что они думают обо всем этом. Вот. Единственное, что я не понял, это что мешало вообще, ну, в теории реально сделать, как он говорил, охранником, то есть вывести гнома, замутить 15к, замутить ту фиговину и потом шлепнуть его. Что мешало, я не понимаю. Что мешало шлепнуть охрану и сказать, что все окей? Pain Inducer, ага, ну да, все-таки не то, что хотелось бы. Что мешало, опять же, я не понимаю. То есть можно было намутить все и реально 30к, но нет. Но нет. Дронов нету. Дронов было бы неплохо купить, но нет денежек. Так, ну ладно. На сегодня, значит, все. Спасибо всем, кто это мероприятие смотрел. Спасибо и за отписывание в чатике. И до скорых встреч в новой серии.